So, where were you born?
Where was I born?
Yep.
I was born in Hartford, Connecticut.
And when were you born, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, 1968.
Um, okay. Um, if you don't mind me asking, what were your parents or siblings feeling about when you joined the service?
Uh, well, my brother was excited. My father was happy to get me out of the house, and my mother was terrified. Uh, my mother, or I should say, my dad was in Vietnam, and obviously that was not the greatest place to go right after they got married. So she wasn't too happy because when I joined the Coast Guard in February of 1990, we were getting ready to ramp up for what they ended up calling it the first Desert Storm. And so, but I joined the Coast Guard to become a diver. But the school was closed down, and I didn't want to wait, thinking that that would kind of keep me from going to a war. But my mother was very upset,
So,
to say the least.
so did you choose the Coast Guard because you want to do diving?
Yeah, I did. The wait for the Navy school was like 3 years. The Army school was 3 years. The Marine was 2.5 years. And the Coast Guard recruiter told me that he could get me in 3 months. And I had orders. And when I went to school, I was supposed to go to dive school right after boot camp. But when I was in boot camp right before I graduated, there was an accident at the dive school. And so they shut it down for a period of time. And instead of the Coast Guard used to train their own divers. And because of that accident, they had to send their divers to the Navy school, which, as I just mentioned, was a 2-year wait. So they told me it was going to be 3 years or more until I went to school.
Can you tell us about when you went into the military, where you drafted, or if did you volunteer?
I volunteered. I signed up like everybody does at 18 for what's called selective service. And once you sign up for selective service, you're obligated in your lifetime up until I think 40. I could be wrong on that number. It was 40 when I was younger. But basically, after I did that, I volunteered, so I was not drafted. The United States ended the draft after the Vietnam War in 1970, I think. So.
How did you adjust to civilian life, or did you work or go back to school?
I didn't do well. I'll be honest. I struggled with civilian life after I got out. One of the things in the military that you have is you have this camaraderie with the people you work with, and you do stuff that is very dangerous at times, and you build up a trust with people, and a trust. I mean, I played sports in high school, and I had friends, and all those relationships are great. But when you're in situations where you might not make it home at night, you become very close to people. And when you get out of those jobs and you come back to being a civilian, obviously most jobs are not that dangerous. So you tend not to be as close, and it's a hard adjustment. I wandered around and lived in several states and spent about 5 years not really doing a whole lot, trying to figure out what I wanted to do in my life after I got out.
So, did you have anything for good luck or anything when you served?
No. I mean, there's a lot of superstitions in the military, and especially like in the Coast Guard and the Navy, with certain things that you have. But I never had like a St. Christopher's medal or St. Michael's medal or anything like that. I didn't have anything like that.
Did you ever join a veterans organization?
Yes, I'm a member of two veteran. I'm in the Disabled American Veterans, which is called the DAV, and the American Legion.
Anything? Is there anything would you like to add?
I don't know. I think the best thing about being in the military, like I said, was the sense of pride and the sense of accomplishment and doing something and helping people. And I think that that's something that I think our generation was passed down to my generation, and I think we should pass that down to generations of young men like yourselves, and for anybody that sees this video, because I think I think your schools and your town does a really good job of that, unlike a lot of other places in this world. And I think you guys are very lucky to come from a town like you do and live in an area like you do.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.